Hello and welcome to Vedic Bala. So, in the previous video, we talked about the path, that is directional strength. First, we talked about Sthan Bal, positional strength. After that, we talked about Kala Bal, that is timely strength. After that, we talked about Digbal, that is directional strength. Now we are going to talk about Naisargik Bala. So Naisargik Bala is the permanent strength of planet. See the sequence we are going in. See, permanent strength of planet varies. But if a planet is debilitated because of its position, if a planet is debilitated because of the time, if the planet is debilitated because of its direction, the permanent strength does matter very less, or say, see, I'll give you an example. Say Saturn has the least permanent strength and Sun has the highest permanent strength. Now, if Sun is sitting in the 12th house in Libra, the strength of Sun is negligible. Why? Positional strength is nothing, timely strength is nothing, it is debilitated and also in the Maran Karak Sthan. So, also if you see, it is in the Mrit Avastha. So, Sun being the strongest planet with its permanent strength now becomes very, very weak. And if you see Saturn, which is placed in 3rd house, then that Saturn is aspecting the Sun. Or say Saturn is also placed in the 12th house. Then what happens? Saturn with the least Naisargik Bala, Saturn with the least permanent strength is now heavy on Sun, which has the highest permanent strength. Getting my point? So what happens is, Naisargik Bala is an ideal way of measuring which planet is chronologically stronger, naturally strong. Which planet is chronologically naturally strong? That can be known from the Naisargik Bala. But if in your chart the stronger planet becomes weak and weaker planet is aspecting or sitting with it, the weaker planet acquires more strength. Okay, so now there comes a question. If this is the case, why do we need to check the Naisargik Bala? The question arises, why do we need? So it's because even though Sun is weak, at its weakest point, it is still stronger than the Saturn at its strongest point. So even though the Sun is weak and the Saturn is strong and aspecting or sitting with the Sun, Saturn has to strive to defeat the Sun. Getting my point? And see the opposite case. Say Saturn is very strong. Say Saturn is very weak. And Sun is also very weak. But still, Sun's natural strength is higher than Saturn. So very easily it can defeat Saturn. So Naisargik Bala, its measurement, its criteria is important to neutralize planets. Let's say I want to increase the power of Saturn over Sun. So now Sun is already a strongest planet. Saturn is already the weakest planet. So in order to increase Saturn's power over Sun, I need to wear, or I need someone to wear a very big Saturn stone. But let's say I want to increase Sun over Saturn. So Sun is naturally strong. Even if you wear a very tiny sunstone, very tiny sunstone, even though it is very tiny, it is going to be very heavy on that Saturn. Let's take a hypothetical example. Say two people are born at exact same time, on the same place, in the same hospital, in two different operation theaters at the same time. Okay. And I want one person's Saturn to be stronger than another person's Sun. So I have to make this person wear a very big Saturn, say 7 carat Saturn. But in order to make this person's Sun equally strong, I just have to make them wear 2 carat Sun. Why? Because naturally Sun is stronger than Saturn. Getting my point? So Naisargik Bala is important to know how to balance the energies of planet in your chart. Especially in case there is a Graha Yuddha, that is two opposite planets are sitting in one house. Okay. We'll come to Yuddha Bala after this. But this is what Naisargik Bala is mainly about. Okay. So we are just idealizing the strength of planet inside your mind. And how to utilize this knowledge of Naisargik Bala is going to be different in every chart. Why? Just the way I explained it. So let's take the ascending order of planets in the Naisargik. Okay. Say Saturn is the weakest planet. After Saturn comes Mars. After Mars comes Mercury. After Mercury comes Jupiter. After Jupiter comes Venus. After Venus comes Moon. And after Moon comes Sun. So Sun is naturally the strongest planet because it is handling every other planet in the orbit. It needs to be strong. It is controlling. And why is Saturn weak? Because Saturn first of all is very slow and it is very far away. So its radiation coming to Earth becomes very weak. Over and above it is very slow. So neither it's like it's radiating too much. Okay, so Saturn is the weakest planet in order of Naisargik Bala. Saturn is karma. So only because of karma life is not going to work. But Sun is energy. Sun is your soul. Even though you have a soul and you don't have karma, you would still have a life. Okay. Say you are a tree. Okay. Not lots of karma. So karma, Saturn is a weaker side in permanent strength. First of all is Sun. You need to have the energy inside you. What should be highest? Your energy should be highest. Your integrity, your discipline, that should be highest in someone's chart among all planets. After that comes Moon, the mind. You should know where to direct your energy. First is Sun, that is energy. Second is mind. In order to know where to direct your energy, where to direct your attention. If the Moon is weak, the problem is you have a lot of energy, but it is either misdirected or it is not at all directed. So after sun comes moon, after energy comes the direction, the sense of direction of energy. After moon comes Venus. Why Venus? Why Venus and not Jupiter? Why is Venus stronger than Jupiter? See, in Naisargik Bala, Venus is stronger than Jupiter. Why? If we say our core energy is stored in Jupiter, the Manipura Chakra, our core values, our guidance is everything is Jupiter. Jupiter is the good planet. Then why Venus has more Naisargik Bala? Any idea? Because Jupiter is, see, the difference between Brihaspati and Shukracharya is that Brihaspati both had knowledge, both taught, but Jupiter, Brihaspati could never tame his student. He is just raw knowledge. Okay, so what is more important? Is raw knowledge important, or is the art of knowledge more important? What to do with that knowledge more important? Getting that? Jupiter is raw knowledge, bulk of knowledge. Say I say a person with good Jupiter has a lot of knowledge. The Venus is weak, so what he would be having a lot of knowledge, but he would not be accurate, precise, and in one form of knowledge. Plus, he would not be able to utilize that knowledge. Okay, so Venus is the utility of knowledge. Both are gurus. Then why Shukracharya has more strength than Brihaspati? Because Brihaspati is just a very good teacher. Okay, and Shukracharya is a very strict teacher. There is a difference between a good teacher and a strict teacher. Brihaspati can never control Indra. But even though Shukracharya teaches all the Rakshasas and demons, okay, all his students respect him. Even Ravana, okay, he knows how to even train demons. And Brihaspati doesn't even know how to handle a god. Okay, so that is a difference. And if we talk about Brihaspati, come on, no matter how good he is, Brihaspati is always going to make you beg. And Shukracharya is always going to make you powerful enough so that you can conquer. No doubt Indra has Indrasan, it has Swarg, but still Indra has to beg to three Trideva. Okay. And say Rakshasas, they don't have Swarg, they don't have Amrit, but they don't have to beg to anyone. Shukracharya is making everyone capable enough to not beg, but take everything after being competent enough. So Venus, Shukra makes you competent. Jupiter makes you wise. But in my case, that's why Venus is more powerful, it has more Naisargik Bala than Jupiter, because competence is more important than knowledge. Competence is more important than goodness. Achievement is more necessary than gaining. If I gain a lot of knowledge, but I don't achieve things on that knowledge, it's worthless. That's why Shukra, Venus, is more permanent, its Naisargik, but its permanent strength is greater than Jupiter. Okay. After Venus comes Jupiter. So, going in the chronological order, first is your energy, your soul energy. Then it's your mind, how to direct your energy. Then it's Venus, Shukra, to be competent enough to control your energy. Don't get diverted. Control your energy. Control your senses. That is what Shukra is telling. See, Shukra is also zinc. It is also your semen. It is also your masculine or hormones. So, semen retention is also a very big practice in brahmacharya. It is how you control your senses. Okay. So, energy, direction, where to direct your energy, then how to control that energy. Okay. Now, after controlling energy, you know you should have Jupiter in the next chronological order, which is knowing about your energy, knowing about storing the energy. First, you should understand how to utilize something. After you understand how to utilize, then you will understand how to store it. What happens if you learn to store it before, then you utilize? You will have gas. If you don't know how to utilize something and you bring it in your home and store it, it is going to decay. Okay. So, it is important. Store your energy afterwards. Plus, Jupiter is guidance, your core values. After you know how to control your energy, you should have a very good set of core values in order to how to utilize it, where to not use it. So the major difference between Venus and Jupiter is Venus is telling you what to do. Jupiter is telling you what not to do. First you should know what to do. After that comes Jupiter and it gives you core values about what not to do. Okay. Energy, where to direct your energy, that is good. Then what to do and how to utilize. Okay, Venus. Then Jupiter, what not to do, how to handle. Then Jupiter. After Jupiter, the next in set of chronological order comes Mercury comes Mercury. So after understanding, it's now your intellect, how you balance things, how you balance what to do and how you balance what not to do, how you balance when to do, how you balance where to do. Mercury is all about when and where. Okay. Plus, Mercury is what we say, neither male nor female, neither Jupiter nor Venus. It has half characteristics of both. So after Jupiter comes Mercury, the art of balancing. You need to balance it. Okay. So after that it's come Mercury. Mercury is your intellect. After gaining all the knowledge, then it's part of your intellect. Now what happens these days is, people without the knowledge of Vedas, how the mundane life people live in the world. You will see a lot of people around you. They are living a lot of regular life, job, everything like that. Once you go into the spiritual life, you will see non-spiritual people as mundane people. Okay. Because your perception has enhanced the view of earth, the view of crowd. Okay. Crowd mentality is over here. Once you go into a spiritual plane, it is above. So now you see crowd people doing an act with Mercury. That is, they are using intellect without Jupiter and Mercury. You see my thing. You see how what I am pointing out. most of people, what they do is, they use their intellect, they use Mercury, they use their energy without conquering Venus and Jupiter. They don't know what to do and they don't know what not to do. They don't know the utility of life and they don't know the values of life. So what they do, they have the energy, sun. They also have that how to direct your energy. Yes, they are. But they are not having any of the gurus in life, neither Shukra nor Jupiter. So after that, after knowing where to direct the energy, they are not learning the 2 steps. They are jumping directly towards the intellect. Right? Again, after that, with that direction of energy, they are again jumping to the intellect. After understanding the direction of energy, now from their intellect, they are utilizing the path of energy and everything, karma and how to achieve goals, everything. But they are not getting Venus and Jupiter in between. They are skipping those 2 steps. That's why they live in the mundane world over here. When you go into spiritual world, the first thing you seek is the guru. Why? Because you have to come back to gain those 2 steps, Venus and Jupiter. And once you have crossed, once you have become elder, once you have started taking your own decisions, once you have started living your own life, it is very tough. Go 1 step below. Go to Venus and go to Jupiter again. That's why in early life, in Gurukul life, children went to Gurukuls because at an early stage, before their Mercury is activated, they were taught Venusian and Jupiterian arts. But these days, we are skipping these 2. Okay. Even in India, most of the religious gurus, most of the acharyas, they are skipping Venus. In India, Gurukul is still there, present in some areas. There are still people who are willing to go into spiritual life, who seek spiritual gurus and everyone. But what's missing is that they are not going to Shukracharya. From sun to moon and from moon to Jupiter. So all what gurus are teaching is what to do. All what gurus are teaching is what not to do. ये नहीं करना चाहिए, लाइफ में ये नहीं करना चाहिए, you shouldn't do this, you don't do this, इससे ये होता है, इससे वो होता है. Okay, but a Venusian art is very important to understand what to do. You are directly teaching people what not to do. You are directly giving people core values. So what happens, people, there would be a group of people who are going into spiritual plane. And in that spiritual plane, they are not learning how to tackle bad people. They are just learning how to be with good people. So they will have more goodness. Extreme good people are produced. Okay. So see how the society is divided. Most of the people who live in the mundane plane does not know anything about good and bad. They are just living and surviving their life. Because from sun, moon, they went to Mercury. Okay. Now, talking about next group of people who are achieving to the spiritual plane. They are not being taught Venusian art. So they are having a lot of Jupiter. All the goodness. Extreme good. Let people walk over that. Okay. So that's the problem. In India, there are gurus, there are people who are talking about spirituality, but they are not teaching Venus, they are teaching Jupiter. Okay. So that Jupiterian art, again a Jupiterian art, will make people more. So another group of people who are willing to go to spirituality, but now since they have only one type of guru, that is Jupiterian guru, they will become overly good and let people walk over them. So let's moving ahead. After Mercury, that is using your intellect to sustain and survive, and rising up. Mercury is closest to Sun. It has rose towards the highest peak. The messenger of God, using your intuition. So after these two steps, it comes how to use your intellect, how to use your intuition, how to use your senses, how to go above five senses, that is the sixth and seventh sense. It's all about Mercury. Okay. So next in line was Mercury. After that comes Mars. Mars is weaker than Mercury. After you learn to go ahead, what is Mars? Mars is a rageful planet. So what happens is, during a journey of spirituality, ever noticed that even though you go into deep aspects of spirituality, most of the people lose their masculinity. Okay, this is something very troublesome. Is spirituality losing your masculinity? People talk about surrender. What was that phrase? Anuchanda, something like that. Go with the flow, right? Go with the flow. Be a fish that goes. Only a dead fish goes with the flow. You don't have a mind, you don't have a brain. Go with the flow. Let the universe. Who goes with the flow? Why are you born as a human? To take decisions. Are you afraid to take decisions? Are you afraid to be on the results of a decision? Only then you should go with the flow. Why you should go with the flow? I don't get that. So only a dead fish goes with the flow. So in the process of spirituality, your mind becomes dead. Why? Mercury is taken over, intellect is taken over, intuition is taken over. So Mars is something that helps you to stay grounded. Mars is also Earth, Prithvi Tattva. What happens? A lot of energy is given up. It goes up and up and up and up and up. Okay. So all the energies are on your head. It becomes a lotus over here. Okay, you push all the energies above. You blossom the lotus inside your head. You increase your Sahasrara chakra. Okay. What happens? All the energy is above, nothing is below. So you lose grounding. So the next thing is, overly spiritual people are not grounded. I am not saying that they are into ego and everything like that, or they are like flying above and they think that I am what I am. No, I am not talking about that. Grounding is just understanding that spirituality is not rising above the mundane people. It is about managing the mundane plane. What happens if you are sitting over here and the rest of the world is over here? 5 out of 10 people who reach over here would think, oh my God, I am above the world. I don't care about the world. So in this process, they lose the touch of the world. They lose the touch of life. They are away from the world. They go into mountain. They think they are somebody else. This world is not for them. Okay. All this thing happen because you are not grounded. The common word is earthing. Earthing હોવું જોઈએ ગમે એટલા ઊંચા હોય. Earthing તો હોવું જોઈએ ને, એક છેડો નીચે હોવો જોઈએ. Mars is that earthing. It is going to make grounded. So if you are sitting over here on the spiritual plane, above the common people over here, your first thing you should do is to improve the life in the mundane plane. Coordinate mundane people, sheeples. give guidance to these people. Don't go ahead, don't be a fool and say, okay, I am spiritual, I will go and live my life, I will go above and above. No, dude, you are above everyone, so at least help everyone from you, because you can see everything from up. Everyone else is seeing front, everyone else is running ahead. Okay, so they can just see this vision. Okay, but you are seeing this vision. You are sitting over here, you are seeing the world from top. You are seeing what the hell is happening in the world. So, watch down, stay grounded. You are living over here. It's your responsibility to manage the mundane plane once you are up. So, what does Mars give you? Mars gives you power. Mars gives you position. When do you get power and position? You get power and position when you are ahead someone, but not if you are ahead and you are watching above. If you are ahead, you have to watch down, help people. Even though you are 10 floors ahead someone, you have to guide the 10 floor below people. Because who is giving you power? People are giving you power. Okay. So since you are above someone, in a spiritual plane, you have reached above in a spiritual plane with the help of Venus, Jupiter and your intellect, that is Mercury. Now, in order to sustain that, achieve power, that is Mars, what you have to do? You have to look down. Don't look up. You are already up. You are already above everyone else. Then why are you looking up? See down. Correct the lower things first. Root chakra ne correct karo pade pachi. Once you are established your Sahasrara chakra, what happens? The root chakra is diminished. All the energy of root chakra is going up, going up, going up. So you need to replenish and renew the root chakra. અહીંયા કમળ નહોતું બંધ હતું પડી. There was a bud inside your head. In order to make that bud a flower, that is a lotus, you send all the energy of your body from the spinal cord to your head. Open the Sahasrara chakra. Now, after opening this lotus, all the energy is utilized below. So you need to refill. And in order to refill, you need to go to petrol pump. And petrol pump is not there in the spiritual plane, it is in the mundane plane. So you again have to go down, refill yourself up. First you accomplished yourself, increased. You took a machine gun. But after getting a machine gun, you need to buy bullets. So you again have to go down to buy bullets, recharge yourself. Okay. So Mars gives you power and position only if you understand that even after going into heights of spiritual plane, you need to stay grounded. Therefore, Martian energy is even lower in the chronological order. And last but not the least is Saturn. It is the lowest Naisargik Bala. It is very weak. Why? Because it is your judgments. Everybody thinks that what makes a man is its soul, it's its energy, it's its natural essence. What makes a life is direction, mind, decisions, skills, intellect, balancing, attitude. Mars is all grounding and attitude, all is Mars. But no, the small thing which is very weak in nature is very important, which is Saturn, your judgments. When you reach in the spiritual plane, you will always have many choices, many alternatives. In every moment of life, you will have alternatives. Your sixth sense will say, okay, go to right. Your mind is saying, go to left. Mercury is saying, go forward. Jupiter is saying, don't go backwards. So the most important thing which is very weak is Saturn, your judgments. Once you can understand that life is nothing but your judgments, you will make the weakest planet the strongest planet. So what we have to do is, Naisargik Bala is the natural strength of planet. In order to balance all the planet, increase the energy of the weakest planet and decrease the energy of strongest planet. Sun is obviously giving the energy out. It is radiating. So most of the energy you have to give to Saturn, so that Saturn becomes strong. Naturally, Saturn is the weakest planet. Now I want to balance all the planets. So what I will do? See, take all the jars. One jar is 90% filled. Another jar is 80% filled. Another jar is 70%. Then 60. Then 50. Then 40. Then 20. Okay. 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40 and 30. Saturn is 30% filled. So what do I have to do? First, I have to fill Saturn 90%. So I have to give more energy to Saturn. Spend more energy in taking right judgments. Okay. After that, spend more energy in building your attitude, or say staying grounded, understanding the fact what is to be done. Then give more energy to what not to do. Then give more energy to your intellect, how to process things around, how to balance things around. Then give more energy to what not to do. Then give energy to what to do. Then spend energy in where to direct in your life. And least you have to think about how you energize yourself. Okay, this is the most important thing. Nobody is explaining me this. Everybody is explaining, okay, this is what the natural strength is. But in order to balance all the planet, you have to give more energy to the weaker planet and less energy to the stronger planet. The weakest planet is Saturn, so you have to spend more energy over there. That's why Saturn demands hard work. Okay. So this was all about Naisargik Bala. In order of marks, I would say Sun's Naisargik Bala is 60. Moon's Naisargik Bala is 51.43. Then comes Venus, whose Naisargik Bala is 27.14. Then comes Jupiter, whose Naisargik Bala is 25.7. Then comes no. Sun is 60. Moon is 51.43. Then comes Venus. Venus is 42.85. Jupiter is 34.28. Mercury is 25.4. Mars is 17.40. And Saturn is 8.57. So if you divide everything by 60, you will come into why? Because we are having 60 Virupas. Okay. Now what is Virupa and everything we have learnt in the previous videos of strength. Okay, it's the unit of measurement. So divide everything with 60 and you will get answers in point. Okay, like Sun is having 1. Other all becomes decimals, 0 point something. Okay, so this was the permanent strength or Naisargik Bala of planet and how you balance it. This was a very in-depth lecture to understand what actually is Naisargik Bala and how to utilize it. Nobody is going to teach you this. They are all going to teach you bookish stuff, okay? But I am going to I am teaching you some profound meditative knowledge. This is how you balance things, okay? Because this is actually how things you can better things in your life. Okay. So with Naisargik Bala, what you have to do is you have to understand which planet needs more strength, which planet naturally needs more strength, and you have to focus on that planet more. Say your Saturn is very strong, but naturally it is weak, so you still have to focus on that. Say your Sun is weak, but naturally it is strong, so you don't have to focus too much on your Sun. Okay, getting it? But that is again a criteria that is going to change from chart to chart and people to people, okay? Because every chart is going to have different combinations, and every combinations will have a different solution. So every person in this world will have a unique solution, okay? But again, we can't go in depth too much on this topic. This was a basic idea of Naisargik Bala, how to cope up with Naisargik Bala. Sorry, how to measure Naisargik Bala of planet and what to do of Naisargik Bala actually. Okay, so thank you very much for joining Vedic Vidada. We will be meeting soon, and yes, have a nice day, have a nice Diwali, Thank you very much.